Homelessness is an increasing issue in Northern Ireland, and with me in the studio today is Inge Persyn from Maeshine and Amanda Scott from the Simon community to talk about how they're going to raise funds to support their work. You're both very welcome to the studio. Inge, can I come to you first of all? Your group Maeshine has joined forces with Mandy Bingham, I understand,
yes,
to bring a group of artists to Bangor Abbey, is it? To perform a concert to support the Simon community.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about why you chose the Simon community to support and how you went about it?
I find homelessness really heartbreaking and really hard to see it, and we can see more and more of it in Belfast. And one day as well I was in London, where it's even more amplified because of the sheer amount of people who are out on the streets. I felt very moved and wrote a song about it, and then I decided that, you know, this is a cause I want to really support through my work in my own way, and I may not be able to go and do the same work as Amanda does, but I can try and raise funds and awareness through music and through bringing other musicians and performers together.
Amanda, Inge mentioned, you know, basically sleeping on the street, and that's the thing that tends to tug at all of our heartstrings, because that's what many of us would associate with homelessness. But it's wider than that, isn't it?
Yes, street homelessness is just one aspect of homelessness. There are many people sleeping on our streets. It is increasing. But here in Northern Ireland, we actually have a bigger problem with hidden homelessness, and those are the people who aren't on our streets. We have people who sleep in cars, who sofa surf with friends, and people who stay in emergency accommodation such as ours.
And those situations aren't generally maybe what we actually associate with homelessness. And would those people maybe be reluctant to actually declare they have a problem?
Well, there are people who would report themselves as being homeless, but I think the problem is because we don't see so many people on our streets. I think people in Northern Ireland aren't aware just how big the problem here is. If you were to walk the streets of London or even Dublin, we see an awful lot more street sleepers, whereas here there are a lot more people who aren't on the streets, who are hidden from view.
Mm-hmm. And do we have any idea of the statistics on that?
Well, I know that here in the last 5 years, homelessness has increased by 32%. So services like ours are needed now more than ever.
And in terms of what triggers that need, you know, for someone to sleep on a sofa or sleep in their car, is there any analysis that the Simon community would have that would give us an insight as to the causes?
Yes, there are lots of different reasons for homelessness. Approximately 30% of homelessness here would be some form of relationship breakdown. That could be a marital relationship or any relationship where someone feels they need to leave the home. There's also a shortage of affordable housing and suitable housing, unemployment, financial difficulties or debt, children leaving the foster care system, people coming out of prison, people with issues and dependencies on drugs or alcohol, mental ill health. There are lots and lots of different reasons why anyone can become homeless.
So presumably an awful lot of the people that would find themselves in this situation, there could be health issues as well, or mental health issues?
Yes. People who are homeless would tend to have more issues with both physical ill health and also mental ill health.
Fundraising is hugely important to charities, and I know, Amanda, that the Simon community spent 95.1 pence of every pound donated in direct service provision. You mentioned earlier bed spaces. Can you tell us a little bit about the provision that the Simon community make?
Yes, we now provide 382 warm, safe beds every evening. And when I say every evening, if someone comes to us, they don't just have their bed for that night and need to leave in the morning. Someone can stay with us for as long as they need to. And we believe homelessness isn't just about providing shelter, a roof over someone's head. We will actually work with anyone that stays with us to try and help them work through the issues that made them homeless in the first place, because we believe that we need to give them skills and confidence if they are to live independently in the future. We would work with everyone on an individual basis, and we would put in place a plan of support for that individual, because everyone is so individual and their reason for becoming homeless is also individual. So we would see what help everyone needs on a one-to-one basis, and that could be counselling, it could be learning skills like how to cook for themselves, how to budget their finances, it could be someone that has mental ill health issues. So we will look at everyone on an individual basis and see what we can do to help them to make changes in their life.
Mm-hmm. In terms of the demographic of age ranges of people who find themselves homeless, what would the spread tend to be?
Well, we find now there are more and more young people. We would look at approximately 35% of the people that we would support would be between the ages of 16 and 25. So actually Northern Ireland has a very young homeless population. We would look after people from the age of 16 upwards. We also would have some children stay with us, but they would be part of our family hostel. We have a family hostel that takes 24 families at any one time.
Those young people, is there any research as to the reasons particularly for such a young demographic?
It can be a mixture of reasons. Some of those young people, 16, would be leaving the care system. We would also have young people, perhaps that there's been a breakdown in family relationships, and that can be for a variety of reasons. But we like to work with them and try and give them the chance of a brighter future, because we believe if we can break the cycle of homelessness at this stage, then it doesn't go on from generation to generation. Mm-hmm.
Frequently you hear it said that we're only a couple of paychecks away from maybe losing our home. Can you give us an insight into the types of individuals who could be impacted by this?
Homelessness can happen to anyone. We have looked after people from all walks of life, all ages, male or female. There's no such thing as a typical person who is homeless. What I would try to say to people is, instead of us talking about homeless people, to think of people who are homeless, because first and foremost they are individuals and their stories are all very different. We've had the businessman who has been happily married. We have the young person from what would be regarded as a good